Mhm. Man, what a week it has been, coming live every day this week to talk about some critical areas for creators, for entrepreneurs, for professionals who want to build a brand, who want to win with an A-list digital footprint, who want opportunities to seek them even when they're asleep. We've talked about a number of different topics all week long, and I hope that you have been tuning in, chiming in, checking it out. Today, I want to talk about this concept of playing the long game, doing the legacy play, right? It's a long-term mindset, and it's a there's this concept of looking at your strategy, content strategy, online strategy, whatever that strategy might be. There's this concept of looking at it as and trying to determine whether or not you can categorize it as a billboard or a library, a billboard or a library. Uh, what are the differences between the two? Well, a billboard, those big signs that you see on the side of the road, whether you're on the highway or you're on, regular street, billboards have their place. They are cyclical. They are event driven. They are meant to catch people's attention as they are driving by, or as they are, using these high traffic routes. Billboards are usually put on places where you're going to grab the eyes and attention of those who are passing by. And so they can be a great source of advertising and marketing for whatever business or brand decides to put something on the billboard. If you've got a major event happening in the city, you want to have a billboard in that city to be able to do some things with it and capture attention. But billboards don't stay forever. In fact, one of the things they did in the city that I live in, which is Huntsville, Alabama, they have gone away from, and I'm pretty certain this is across the board, but there was a specific initiative to move away from billboards that were not digital, because they wanted the ability to change them out or even add things to them a lot more regularly. Because, man, those billboards, especially the physical ones, they used to take a lot of time to put something up there. And whoever paid for that billboard, they had that spot for whatever time frame they paid for it, because billboards couldn't be switched out just readily. You had to pay a whole team to go up there and put the new billboard up. So digital signage, digital billboards kind of came along and revolutionized that industry. And again, I want you to be thinking about this from the perspective of, what is your content strategy? Can it be described or defined as a billboard? And is that a good thing? You only grab attention when people are passing by your billboard. Do people actively search and look for a billboard? Billboards are only, they can be useful. I mean, they could definitely drive awareness. They can pique interest. But for the most part, even if you saw something for the few seconds it takes for you to drive down that street and glance up at the billboard, even if you saw it while you were driving, you were on your way, your potential client, customer, your next brand deal, they were on their way to something else. That billboard was not their point and purpose for which they were coming or doing their thing that day. So your content strategy based on the season, based on the theme, right? Based on the trends of the existing moment, can sometimes be like a billboard. Because the trend might be the thing that brought somebody there, but it's just a billboard. And will they ever search for that thing again? And maybe you may have a couple of people onboard into your ecosystem. So now Billboard is the first one. Let's talk about the library. What if your content strategy looked and felt like a library? Well, what does a library do? Library is full of books. It's full of books, and many of them are books that you can check out. I've never seen an advertisement for a library, unless maybe there was an event happening in the local public library. But libraries, are essential to human life. People are constantly going to the library, not for something the library has advertised, but because the library is a strategic and defined system that allows you to gain access to what you're looking for. In the library, content books are indexed. In the library, you have a general expectation that these kinds of things will be there. The person drives their experience for what they're going to the library for. Many are not going to the library haphazardly. They're going to the library because they have something in mind that they hope to achieve. They have something in mind that they need an answer to, or they want to brush up on, or they want to build. And so they head to let's go to the library. I'm going to get another book. I need to learn how to do this. I need to do some research. And I want to go to a place where they've got a wide array of content specific to this area that I need to build myself in. A library. The books are indexed. Oh gosh. If you go to the library and you ask them where certain books are, they're going to tell you from the Dewey Decimal System. Does anybody use the Dewey Decimal System anymore? Is that even a real thing? I have no idea. But they're going to be able to tell you what stack, what row, what aisle that book is on. And in generally speaking, similar books of similar topic and impact are going to be in that same area. If your content strategy, it resembles a library, I think you're in better shape. If your content strategy is not focused on the trends of the day, which could get you a good amount of views, but they weren't views of people who were looking for you. If your content strategy was indexed, systematized, open and ready for business for anyone who is searching for a particular thing in the area of expertise that you speak to, if your content strategy was like that, that is going to help you build. That's going to help you to build your audience. That to me is the preferred of the two. The preferred of the two. See, the unfortunate truth is that a billboard is fleeting attention. It's not going to hold. In fact, even the billboard, even if somebody were to go drive to the billboard, stand in front of it and look at it for all the time that particular graphic or advertisement is on there, they will stand there long enough to see someone either physically come and change it to something else, or they will see it change to something else automatically all on its own, because a billboard is fleeting, where a library is legacy. The old books are still there. New books are being added. Maybe there's a second edition, right? You did a video, the 2022 version of a particular video. Then you did the 2026 version of that same video. And it's like a new edition has been released. Same content, but it's been refreshed for today. A library is legacy. And I just want to challenge you today to shift your focus from getting views to building an asset for tomorrow. Random posting is a hobby. Building a digital footprint is legacy work. And to build a legacy, you need high-level strategy. Goes beyond the trends, focuses on foundational business principles, life principles. Trends can change every week. And I'm one that believes that it's a both and approach. I think you got to have some content that does speak to the trends as you onboard new people into your ecosystem, but that should be a small portion of your strategy, of your content. Principles last forever. In our community, we're not teaching folks how to go viral. Many are not even ready for a viral moment. What we're focused on is teaching you how to build a legacy. We want you to build a library. We want you to have something that's systematized, that's indexed, something that is readily available if somebody is in search of an answer. We want your content to come up. We want your profile to be suggested because you've got a long-standing track record of being consistent in delivering principle-based value. And that, my friends, not only builds your brand and your digital footprint, it builds a legacy. And if that's something you're interested in, so what we've been talking about all week, the inner circle is the place for you. The inner circle is the place for you. Thank you so much, Dr. Vibe, for coming through. I see you in the chat over on YouTube. I see you also, Steve Factor. Thank you so much for coming through. I see you in the community in school. Thank you for the several of you that are with us over on Instagram as well. I cannot tell who's watching over on Facebook or on LinkedIn. LinkedIn comments are unfortunately not coming in, but I just want to challenge folks. If you can't say for an absolute fact that your content strategy is developing a library, AKA a legacy, I would challenge you to rethink what you're building. And one of the ways that you do that, one of the ways that you can be assured of that is by joining community. Joining community. Man, listen, Inner Circle is built and designed specifically with legacy builders in mind. And if that's something that is of interest to you, whether you're watching this live with me right now or you're watching on replay, I would love an opportunity to have you come and join us in the community. Anyway, I want to grab a couple of questions, then I'm going to recap, and then we're going to close it out for the day today. A couple of you are with us online. Thank you guys so much for that. But for those that are not, let me see here. I can't remember what I was going to show off something here today. Oh, yes. One of the things that I was going to showcase in the community is some of the posts that we are able to showcase and utilize. Here's a great one. Here's a great one from Kimberly Upchurch, and it says, "Good morning. Anyone have a good resource for low-cost music that can be used on YouTube videos?" And that is something that I'm going to respond to, but I'm pretty certain that others in the community are going to respond to as well. If that's something that you're interested in doing, if you want to be able to showcase and highlight, if you want to be able to ask in-depth questions outside of the public sphere in a space that is absolutely built and intended for you to be able to do that, this is the space for you. You go to the classroom section, several things that are here. Establish yourself as an expert with content. Get Unstuck Consulting. Here is the How It All Works podcast, and that's the latest episode that you're seeing there. The description is here, key takeaways, but then you also have the episode guide. Every episode of the How It All Works podcast has an episode guide where we give you the summary, we give you some action items, and we give you next steps, suggested next steps. You may enjoy the podcast, just sit, listen, maybe listen twice, maybe listen 3 times without having to take notes, because you can come right in here and grab those whenever you choose. Also in the classroom section are master classes. Of course, the master class from this past week is here, the YouTube Success Masterclass, and then past month, I should say. And then the one that is coming up this Sunday is the YouTube Success Masterclass with eCam Live Pro. And also in the community, oh wow, look at this. Oh my goodness. This I didn't get a chance to see this early. I'm gonna have to go back and congratulate him later. 75,000 views on his channel. Absolutely amazing. Doc Bashara, if you're watching this, definitely want to say a word of congratulations to you. But also in the community is a whole write-up on the latest eCam Live release, where they are talking about highlighting and spotlighting this particular program or function and feature that I'm using right now. Again, this is amazing. So Dr. CK says, hey, Pastor Kirk, when I finally sign up soon, I will use your link because you introduced me to the software when I was looking for a better production alternative to Streamyard. Look at that. This is what the community is all about. And again, it's a space that has been specifically designed and curated with you in mind that allows you to win in the content areas that matter most to you. Oh, wow.
I'm super excited that you are here. This is the How It All Works community. And
it's so wild that I have to pause it in 2 places. I have to pause it on the vertical one and pause it on the wide version, because we're streaming to both versions right now. But this is the page, kirkarnugent.com/inner circle. Head on over there right now. Listen to the video, read the blurbs, listen to the testimonials. I won't just take my word for it. Listen to the testimonials. Hear what people have been able to achieve just by going through the program. Let me scroll down to that portion of the page on both sides so that you can kind of see that. Hit it up. Take a look. Last thing I want to say here, and I see you line with us. I see you, Dr. Vibe. I see you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. But last thing I want to say here is this coming Sunday. No, not Sunday, Tuesday. This coming Tuesday. This Sunday is the masterclass, but this coming Tuesday, we are going to be having a graduation. We're going to be having our A-list digital footprint founders graduation. 8 individuals have completed the work required. Hey, Creative Lady says on Instagram, what's going on? 8 individuals have finished the work that is required of them to be able to graduate, and we're excited to be able to celebrate with them. And I hope that you can come through. You can scan that QR code on the screen, or you can go to the link that says kirkarnugent.live/grad, and you can register for the Zoom there. It is a free event, no cost to any of you, of course, but we just want to celebrate. And then, of course, going to share some more details about that program if that is something that you are interested in. Real Florence Donald is with us as well. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. Always good to have you. She's there on YouTube. The Creative Lady is over on Instagram, and we're always glad to have some of our Instagram fam with us as well. Thank you for being with us. Line with us says, what's up? What's going on with you? Thank you so much for being here. You're there on YouTube as well. And then, of course, Dr. Vibe says, build legacy. Love that. Love that. Content strategy should be like a library. Out of bounds. Come on. Dewey Decimal System. Listen, I don't even know if that still exists. I'm definitely telling my age by going backwards like that. But yeah, definitely consider, think about your content strategy under those terms. I'm just going to recap a little bit as we get ready to close it out for today. I'll leave these things on the screen so you can see them. But yeah, if you think about what a billboard is intended for, it does grab attention. it is considered trendy. If you really want to get some eyeballs on something real quick, a billboard could do well, but a billboard in its very nature is not designed to be around for years and years and years. And so if there was some particular value that you were putting on that billboard, it would not be there for somebody even a couple months from now wouldn't even be able to see it. Sectioning and designing and being strategic about your content, setting it up almost like a library, ensures that the question that your content answers, the itch that it scratches, the need that it meets for your target audience, it will continue to meet that need for years to come, maybe even generations. Listen, there's a reason why the Smithsonian is in conversation with YouTube to put their tag on the YouTube brand. Why? Because they've got video archives on YouTube that they simply cannot lose. And I don't know where those talks have arrived at, but it just makes perfect sense to me that they would do that, because it is a literal video legacy. People can still watch. Put in a quick search term, and if you're specific enough, you can find stuff from years and years and years ago, stuff that wasn't even done in the YouTube era. People are actively grabbing them, digitizing them, and uploading them to the platform so that we have them for years to come. Set up a library. Shift your focus from getting views to building an asset for tomorrow. And stray away from the random posting to building a digital footprint. This is what I like to call legacy work. And legacy work requires a high level strategy that goes beyond the trends and focuses on foundational principles. Trends can change every week, but principles last forever. In the inner circle, in the community, we don't necessarily teach how to go viral. We teach how to build a legacy. And that's what I wanted to share with you for today. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention. It's been a fun week. We've gone live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, today, Friday. And I hope that you get a chance to go back and watch whatever you missed. If you are still kind of on the fence and you'd like to be able to do a little more of a Q&A about this whole community thing, definitely come on Tuesday to the graduation. I think that's going to be a great place to kind of dip your toe in, if as they say. Take care, creative lady. She says, well, she'll catch up later, but I think there's going to be a great place to dip your toe in is at the graduation. But also, if you'd like, just go ahead and schedule a discovery call. You can do that on my website, kirkrnugent.com. Just put in discovery call, and we'll definitely be able to chat it through with you, hear what some of the things you're looking to achieve, and we'll let you know if it's a good fit. I'll be the first to tell you it's not for everybody. In fact, there are some folks in the community that we've had to graciously let go and part ways amicably. We thank them for their time, but this was not for them. But this is a space for those who want to build, not a billboard. It's for the space for those who want to build a legacy. Yeah. Okay. Let me see what we got here. I have one last question. I want to make sure I don't miss it. All right. Dancehall says, for a 2-hour local recording with a virtual guest, does both computers need slot of space? Need a lot of space. What program are you using, Dancehall? Dancehall settings. It's definitely somebody who's from my island. Dancehall settings. That's Jamaican for sure. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's from the Caribbean. But at any rate, what platform are you using? Because if you're using Streamyard, you don't need any space whatsoever. If you're using eCam, your guest doesn't need space. They're a guest in your system. You will absolutely need space. And maybe you're using Streamyard and you're using local record. But even local record is going to upload to StreamYard after the fact. And so, yeah, StreamYard. So you're going to upload to StreamYard after the fact. And so what that means is it just needs a temporary holding space. It's a temporary holding space. So thank you for responding that. And in that temporary holding space, yeah, okay. So maybe you might need, I don't know what the amount of space is, but you don't need a whole lot. But you definitely would need to be able to have a temporary, some StreamYard's going to allocate that space, but I think you should be fine. It will do that in an automated fashion. And that space is not permanent. So it's not going to save it on your hard drive and then it's saved there forever. It's going to upload it and you'll see inside the studio where it says stay in the studio because we're still uploading. So do you need a whole lot of space? I don't think so. But I will also say, if we just kind of put StreamYard to the side for a second, if you're using a computer that doesn't have a lot of space, like doesn't have a lot of storage, sometimes some computers are swapping RAM for storage. So if you're using a computer that doesn't have if you have like 1 gig of space left, I wouldn't use that computer to do anything. Forget about StreamYard. I wouldn't use that computer to do Microsoft Word or even browse Google Chrome because you don't have enough space. You don't have your hard drive is almost full and you don't want it to get full because the machine will crash and you won't be able to open it back up. So you definitely want to ensure you have good space, not just for StreamYard, but just across the board. And to be clear, let's say you have 50 gigs of space available on your machine. StreamYard may need to use, 5 gigs or so for that 2-hour local recording, but it's not going to use it forever. It's temporary. That I'm using that as an arbitrary number. I don't know how many gigs StreamYard will use, but that space is temporary. And then once it uploads it to StreamYard, you're good. That space is back available to you for whatever else you might want to use it for. But just as a general rule of thumb for anybody that's listening and for dancehall settings, we want to make sure we have space. There's a whole principle here as well. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I feel like I've shared enough with you guys today, but you always want to have margin, you want to have space. It's like knowing that it's going to take you 12 minutes to get to your next appointment and you leave with exactly 12 minutes. Never good. You want to leave a half hour. If you get there early, that's great. But if something happens along the way, which is life, you want to make sure you have that amount of space. I always hear people say stuff like, what's the minimum amount of this that I need? No, nobody does that in real world. You want to make sure you have, margin. You want to have space. And so I would admonish the same with your hard drive, with your, for your local record, for whatever you're doing in terms of content, in terms of, man, listen, you could be managing your week. You could be managing your calendar. Even Calendly, when I'm booking appointments and coaching calls, always tries to build in margin and space so that I can kind of refresh, recoup. I can even drop down some notes after a particular call. So I'm not going directly from one to the next. I've got margin. I've got space. And hopefully that makes sense. And I want to thank you for your question. Dr. Vibe So says, enjoyed this week's broadcast, and I enjoyed it as well. And for my LinkedIn fam, I want to say a word of apology. I have not been able to really see those comments live, but I have been going over to LinkedIn after the live shows, and I've been pleasantly surprised to see that several of you have been commenting there. And so I'm hoping that something will be done so that we can get those comments in real time without having to physically go over to the platform after it's done. That's all says, okay, great. Thank you. First time on your live, but been watching and interacting with your content. Very valuable. So appreciative of your response right there, man. And absolutely, if there's anything else that we can do, this is what I mean when I say you're a great candidate for somebody I think should be in the community. And so I would love for you to be able to do that. Head on over to Inner Circle, hit that link, go to the page, join the community. There's two different levels to join at. And so definitely be thinking about that as well. Fam, it's Friday. I've got a number of things on docket ready to go. So I'm going to leave it right there. 24-Hour Boss just jumped on Instagram. AMX Killer just jumped on as well. The Athletic Church is on. Fifth Venny is on as well. Gevinson is on. The Gabriel Jack is on. This is pretty cool. A lot of folks jumping on over on Instagram. Thank you guys. Thank you all for your time and attention. If you have questions, drop a comment below. Catch the replay. I will see you in the next one. Grace and peace. I hope that you come to the graduation, and I hope that you have a phenomenal, awesome weekend. Later.